Either was every person, everybody who came from Iran that I met in my life a total exception, because there had been people very warm-hearted, that which I could have deep discussions, because they had fundamentality, had been people that loved knowledge, appreciated culture and thinking. While what we heard here from the Iranian regime, if we heard anything, was only that we saw party manifestations, spontaneous, organized, with people shouting death to Israel, death to America, and death to all Jews, always citing this, what is Sahih Muslim, book 41, 6,895 kill all Jews, and these stones are speaking something. However, and on the other hand, I saw that the Iranian government was talking to destroy Israel, killing all Jews, that killing Jews worshipping, reminding on, yes, Sahih Muslim book 41 is 6,895, we have to kill all Jews for paradise, and stones are speaking, and wherever, simply horrible. And in French media was almost nothing. I mean, for 10 years, nothing. 2019, a little mention, like some people are somewhere walking, not liking so much the mullahs, and people are totally oblivious that the Naya had been shooting, massacring people, butchering on the street civilians under the order of Soleimani, who was taken out by the Americans. I was a little bit skeptic, because what we, most Europeans, hoped that with the Arab Spring comes democracy and freedom to the Middle East, and they got something else. How come? Okay, Obama's half-brother was leader of the Muslim Brotherhood, so go figure. And then what piqued my attention was that people refused to disrespect Israel or the United States, and are calling the enemies in our place and not over there. So and this moment was when I was thinking, well, we have a holiday, Jewish religious holiday, Purim, where we are actually celebrating the Iranian people liberating themselves from a military oppressor. At the time, it was in the Achemenide Empire, the king Xerxes, or Artaxerxes, we call in the Megillah, our scriptures, Hashvarosh, who was sidetracked by the military oppressor Hamam. There was a personality that also started having a personal cult with big sculptures about himself. People had to adore it, not too unsimilar to the big posters that you have in, And this Haman had also already put in place military organization to execute an ethnic cleansing of all Iranian Jews. At the time, the Persian Empire was the biggest, and the immortals, that was called the special units, military units of Iran, had been the most lethal force on the globe. And contrary to the Reichskristallnacht of Germany, the Iranians at the time stood up and took out the military oppressor with his co-conspirators, bringing back on the throne their king. And after that, the Iranian people flourished. They had the Achemenide Empire for several centuries, and allowed us to return to Israel, building the second temple. And don't be afraid that we will build now directly a new temple in Jerusalem. For building a temple, the inside of the innerst room has an arc as wide as the outside of the innerst room, which is not possible to do without divine intervention. And if you fear that there is divine intervention, then you believe in Judaism, which would make you a heretical in your belief, wouldn't it? So I think it's in the historic heritage of the Iranian people to have the force to overcome the dictatorship and to create a free country from the south. I hope it very much. I know that if I dare to think that the same people that are selling the inside of Paris already to Qatar in the first arrondissement and making big bucks in the Middle East, therefore appeasing anti-Semitism, because nothing makes as stupid as hate. And if people are stupid, you can make more money if you want to steal instead of creating something. If I suppose that they are not totally stupid, of course they would love it to have an Iranian-Saudi Arabic war. But for bringing the military forces, one country against the other, they need a land bridge. And in this land bridge is Israel. So without Israel, there would be Iranian-Saudi Arabic war destroying everything, and the Europeans could come as liberators. That's like inviting for dislocating millions of people for humanitarian reasons and 4,000 euros per head for human trafficking, to welcome them being homeless in Europe, where every problem is with the population is only collateral. But as I'm very poor with money because I have none. But when I know a little bit like John Smith, The Wealth of Nations, that it pays more to have success. If people have freedom and can produce, then there's more capital produced in the world. That means more capital to share with each other. And as soon as the people are not always fearing what's today and what's tomorrow, then there is no overpopulation, because they can guide their children until they have success, and they can also invest and pay for more environmental friendly technique. So it's only a big plus, and there's more to exchange, to trade, because things will be created that don't exist before. Solutions can be found by new people that are not only produced and sent and die, but also the parents have the possibility to bring them up, to give them knowledge, to give them values. And I think it's a wonderful thing if it works. I think the Iranian people should be proud of their national heritage. And I think if you have your own identity, you can respect the identity of another person. You don't need to build your ego on making somebody down, because you have your achievements. And I'm very hopeful that the Iranian people will succeed.